Today I'm talking about buying nuts and seeds from the supermarket. And there's so many different choices. As always, I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm looking for when I buy nuts and seeds. Now, most of us know that nuts and seeds can be a really good source of protein and healthy fats. But this is the thing. The fats, the oils that are in nuts and seeds can be healthy in the right amounts, but most of those oils are polyunsaturated fatty acids. And while they can be healthy, in fact, some of those polyunsaturated fatty acids are essential, meaning we need them for our health. Those kinds of fats are very delicate and susceptible to rancidity when exposed to heat, light, and oxygen. So that's why most of the time I like to buy my nuts raw and roast them myself. So remember, I always talk to you about the best way to do things and then a couple of good compromises. So for example, I'm in a Fred Meyer's and you can buy raw nuts in their bulk section, which I recommend, or you can get them in bags like this. And for example, raw almonds, raw walnuts, raw pecans, raw cashews, raw macadamia nuts. Those raw nuts are really good. Their oils have not been damaged, but sometimes to make them more digestible, you might want to roast them at home or sometimes soak them and then roast them at home. And that can make them more digestible and tastier. But of course, anytime you cook them, you're gonna start damaging the oils. So the trick is to roast them and eat them, say within a week's time, right? You might not have time to do that, so you might buy something that's already roasted. So buy the freshest roasted nuts that you can get, because remember, the oils get damaged the longer they sit, and that might be important to you. But here's what I find. When you're looking for like roasted nuts, of course, what are we gonna do? We're gonna turn it around and look at the ingredients, not the nutrition facts, the ingredients. So here's this one, cashews, vegetable oil, sea salt. Now look at the oils that they use in this. A mixture of peanut, cottonseed, soybean, and our sunflower oil. Now I really like to avoid a lot of the seed oils when I can because they are prone to rancidity. So cottonseed oil, if it's organic, that's one thing, but you know, cottonseed and soybean oil, I really try to avoid them because they can be really laced with a lot of pesticides and herbicides they pick up. So I want to avoid this. This isn't a product I'm gonna get, even though it's an organic product. Let's look at something else. Here we go, let's look at there. Raw almonds and roasted almonds. Let's see if the ingredients are better over here. Same thing, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, sea salt. Sorry for the panning rapidly. Let's look, here's some pistachios. Roasted and salted, wonderful. Yeah, I like it wonderful. They've taken them out of the shell, which means I'm gonna pig out on these, yum. Let's look for ingredients. Pistachios, sea salt. Boom, that's what you want. If you wanna get a roasted nut, you don't need added oils going rancid on you. You just want the nut and some salt, or you want salt-free. But those look delish to me. So I'm not gonna go through all of these brands. I will go over to a popular brand, but this is what I'm looking for. Let's look, this is a popular one, Planters Mixed Nuts, salted. And I know you're like thinking, oh, this is probably gonna be horrible. I don't even actually know what we're gonna find. Nuts, peanut oil, and salt. That's not as bad. You know, this isn't something I'd buy and eat every day. If I can, I'm still gonna buy my raw nuts and roast them myself. But if I'm in a pinch, if I'm like traveling and I just need something with some protein that isn't gonna spike my blood sugar, you know, I'd be willing to buy this. But you know, on the spectrum of healthy, healthier, healthiest, this would be kind of, I guess, in the middle, I suppose, especially if I needed to compromise when traveling. So that's my spiel on nuts and seeds. Best case, buy them in the bulk section, raw, roast them yourself. I'll include a recipe for roasted nuts in here, but in a nutshell, put some raw nuts or seeds on a baking sheet with no oil or salt and roast them in a 350-degree oven or gas mark 4 for 10 minutes or until aromatic. And that's your roasted nut.